So we're here at the We The People stand here at CSG. First one we're going to go through is the little seed here. So this year they're starting off at a 16-inch in the seed. It's all a high 10 frame, nice little 140mm cranks on this. Salt pedals as well, nice decent salt parts all throughout these bikes, throughout the range. Great little bike to get the kids started on, the 379 this year. Moving on from that is the Curse 18, which is also the same as the 20-inch up here, obviously just scaled down. Looks great with the bright yellow tyres on there. These are 389, there's still a high 10 frame with a chrome ollie down tube on these models. Unsealed front wheel, sealed back wheel, obviously the smaller cranks on the 18 for the smaller bike, and on the main size bike you've got your 170mm 8-spline cranks on there as well. The 8-spline cranks and pinch bolts is on these too. So there's a new model for 2017, it's called the Nova. It's a bit of a cheap one in between what the just below the Curse would have been. It's got cut tape set on this, it's all a high 10 frame as well, unsealed front wheels, comes with the eclat pedals as well, salt cranks, salt parts all throughout too, and for 350 it's looking like an absolute winner this one. Right up the top there we've got the We The People arcade for 2017, and that great kind of, how do you explain it, kind of a ball burnish kind of silver colour. Comes again with the salt parts all throughout. It's got a 165mm crank for all you street guys out there. Gyro tabs, integrated headset. It's also got the high 10 frame with the chrome ollie down tube on it. And that one's coming in at 439 this year for 2017. So these are all the cheaper bikes and We The People. Let's go to the next rack and have a look at the next ones. Cool, so kicking off the next round of We The People bikes. This is the We The People Justice for 2017 in this great translucent teal colour. Looks really, really good in person. A lot of these bikes in the range from this bike onwards do come with hub guards with the pegs included, which is great. This one's got the high 10 frame, but with the chrome ollie down tube, top tube, and all the tapered seat stays around the back, so you get a lot of clearance for large tyres in the rear there. Again, salt parts sprinkled all throughout the bike. This one's coming in at 469 and with a 170mm crank. Now the cranks from these are still an 8-spline crank, but they use the TSS system, so there's no pinch bolt on the crank. A lot less likely for the crank to come loose, it just works on having the bolts on the side of the crank. So moving up from there into the Reason, which is more of your street bike. This one comes with the Freecoaster as standard. As I said, the stump pegs and the hub guards come with that too. This one's got a similar frame with a 4130 chrome ollie down tube, top tube, tapered seat stays as well all throughout. Again, lots of clearance for the back end. These also come with the shorter 165mm cranks, again more of a street orientated bike. We The People's really kind of tried to differentiate a lot of the models throughout the range between your street and your park bikes, which we're going to get to in a sec, as well as even a trails bike they've released for 2017, which looks absolutely amazing, but you'll have to see that in a bit. So we'll move on up through. You get into the Crysis bike, so you're getting a few more kind of We The People parts on here. You're getting the eclat rims on this as well instead of the salt parts, so this slowly as you start going up through the range you start swapping out a few of them salt parts for eclat parts, which is great. So the Crysis is a full chrome ollie frame, it always has been for the last few years. Fully sealed hubs from rear, really, really good kind of all-round, again, still orientated as a bit of a street bike this year. Still got the Freecoaster on there, a pivotal seat, without the funky design compared to the Reason. Coming in at 560, really, really good bike. Great complete for if you know you're into BMX, but you want something a bit more that's not going to fall apart on you, and you want something that's solid that you can actually go do all the tricks that you could ever want to. This is kind of the bike that you're looking at and has been for the past few years. Moving on from there, get into the Versus, so we're starting to get into more of the park style bikes. This one comes with a gyro on it, and has a silver paint finish but with a really good pearlescent kind of top coat on it. When you get it out in the sun it really tends to shine, however it's not quite showing how good it is inside here. But you'll have to check that one out a bit more in the store. When you start getting up to these bikes, you get in the obviously fully sealed hubs front and rear, slightly narrower tyre because of the park bikes, thinner seat, the tripod system too, so you can absolutely slam it. But if you don't notice here in the video, the standover height on the frame is significantly lower than the two bikes I've spoken about before, which are obviously more street orientated. Obviously a bit of more clearance is much better for the park guys, and obviously you're getting a really good eclat brake on there too, so really, really decent park setup straight out of the box. Also comes with 48 spline cranks on that model, so nice decent crank starting from that price point of £660. Moving on, we've got the Trust, which is again a little bit more kind of park orientated. It's got a bit more of a standover again. You've got the 170mm crank on there, more and more Eclat parts. Got the Eclat Fireball tyres as standard, bit of a longer top tube on that as well, and it comes with that really great kind of translucent gold finish, which we have seen from a few other brands before, but this one seems to be a little bit more full in colour compared to a few of the others we've seen in the past. And that is also again like a brakeless kind of park model, but more of like a hybrid style bike, coming in at the £660 price bracket as well. So let's check out the last few bikes. So now we're getting to a bit more of the higher end serious bikes. So WeThePeople's always been known for having really decent like high end bikes, £750 plus, which are really competitive with what you could build custom anyway. So starting off with the Zodiac, which is $750. Obviously it's a bit more of like a kind of street orientated bike. Got the coaster as standard again on this. You've got the Eclat Trip and XL rims, which were a really popular rim last year. You've also got the WeThePeople tyres on there, nice big fat pivotal seat. But probably one of the main things is that you've also got an AK bash guard that comes standard on the bike. So it's one of these plastic bash guards, nylon plastic bash guards, which have been available aftermarket for a little while now. So it's really good to see them come on complete bikes. And as I said, WeThePeople have always been the king of completes. Like, you know, not many brands are providing that many aftermarket parts straight from the factory in a bike that you can just build out of a box in 10 minutes and go ride. So for $750 with the full chromoly frame as well on this, of course, pretty much all of these are full chromoly from this price point up. And just really good kind of general street geometry as well on that bike. Moving on, we've got a bit of a more special bike, the Volta. More of a trails inspired frame, so you've got the 28 tooth front cog, 48 spine WeThePeople cranks, you've got the Eclat Calibri hubs. So, you know, as I said, more and more aftermarket parts being put on these bikes straight complete. They also come with the Merritt Brian Foster tyres, which is pretty cool, and the bike's perfectly set up for trails, a bit more slack, a little bit longer. You've also got the more traditional lower brake mount on the bike as well, which is great for the trails guys. It's likely to catch that on the top. We have a thinner tripod seat too, so they're trying to really cater more towards the different styles of riding rather than just having spec on spec on spec and just kind of concentrating on the street bikes or just the park bikes or anything. They've been trying to be really diverse with what they've got. And that comes in at $899, and it's proper 4130 Senko tubing as well on this frame, so you get a little bit more of a better quality premium kind of setup on the bike there. I mean, a lot of aftermarket frames don't even come with Senko tubing, and if they do, they tend to have a price premium on them. So it's great to see this as a full bike for just $899. And then obviously WeThePeople envy the top complete bike every year, absolutely stunning. They've kept the kind of the same similar color scheme. It's more of a translucent gold again this time rather than a flat or kind of other color schemes done in the past. Comes with the WeThePeople 22mm crank on there. Again, it's all the Senko tubing, it's all butted, gusseted, etc. 21-inch top tube as well, pivotal seat, nice big seat, more of a street setup, but it also comes with the Supreme hub, the WeThePeople Supreme hub on it for 2017. So we've gone through the last few years, we've had the blind, and then it came with just a straight up coaster, but now they're back to the cassette, and you know, what better hub to put on it than the WeThePeople Supreme 6-pole cassette hub. So absolutely amazing again. WeThePeople always king of the customs and always absolutely banging out great bikes for a great price point. That one comes in at a nice round £1,000. And finally, we've got a little idea of a few of the new colorways coming in for WeThePeople. They've got these kind of olive green, or I don't know, it's not more like military green tyres, and the Fireball tyres coming out, along with, not really sure if you can see that, but the pegs as well are coming in that green. I know they did the tan, but it's also coming in the green now. Obviously we've got the AK bash guard here on this bike, but the big thing is the oversized clamp on the stem, which is becoming more and more popular. It's just a larger clamping area, similar to what happened on mountain bikes a few years ago. So we're going from 22.2mm up to 25.4. More surface area means the bar's less likely to slip. I'm not sure if you can kind of see that on the side. Obviously this is a 4-piece variant, but the bar does tend to taper up as it goes up here to your normal handlebar grip size, so you don't have to worry about any of that. So yeah, that was a run through of what's new for We The People for 2017. Hope you guys enjoyed it.